what we said? Wow. Congratulations. Amen. It's like, get off me.
Last night, we just witnessed the 5th largest concert in history, and it was to see Lady Gaga.
I like some of the Gaga songs.
In fact, she actually broke the record for the highest attended standalone concert ever. A staggering 2.1 million people attended the concert in Rio, and it was all paid for by the Brazilian government in order to boost the city's struggling economy. And this wasn't cheap. To put on an event this size, they had to have thousands of military personnel and police officers scan each attendee through metal detectors as they entered, and put up dozens of these giant screens so that everyone could see. And although this concert was technically free, they predicted that this one night alone is going to generate roughly 100 million.
So if the Earth rotates around the Sun once a year, and in that one rotation there are 365 little rotations, representing one day per little rotation, equating to 365 with one large rotation, and 365 divided by 28 is 13. So you mean to tell me that we could equally split a year into 13 equal months, every month having 28 days. The beginning of the month starts on a Monday, the end of the month ends on a Sunday. And hold the phone, because you're telling me that September, sept meaning 7, October, oct meaning 8, but it's the 10th month, November, Nov meaning 9, but it's the 11th month, in December, but it's the 12th month, and decagon is 10. But hold on, what if the end of the year wasn't in December? What if January was the 11th month? Because December would be the 10th, November would be the 9th, October would be the 8th, September would be the 7th. So January is the 11th, February is the 12th, and March is the 13th, the last month of the year. And the beginning of the year is the spring equinox, when everything begins to start growing and renewing, and life begins to flourish. Wouldn't it make sense that that would be the beginning of the year, and not December? What do y'all think?
So the Yellow Mama finally admitted it, y'all. She said it on camera. So what we not gonna do is try to spin it as if we didn't see what she did and hear what she said. The proof is in the pudding. You're gonna hear the same thing I heard, and you're gonna see the same thing I seen. I understand people make mistakes and have slip-ups, but when you and your husband keep slipping up over the years, come on now.
Come on now.
Here's where she messed up. When she asked Marlon Wayans a question, she should have said, so you particularly as a black man, instead of saying, warms my heart particularly as a black man.
What?
Learned a bit about, I'm just so proud of how you are being a role model for dealing with a child that's transgender. And that's, that warms my heart particularly as a black
That's a black man. Oh man.
Now it's the stutter for me. It's like she knew she. Am I tripping? Y'all let me know down below in the comments.
Hey.
I told you the Great Pyramid wasn't just a tomb, or a monument, but a machine for immortality. Beneath the Giza Plateau lies a 2-kilometer-long structure, an underground labyrinth said to predate the pyramids themselves. Hidden tunnels and shafts link all 3 pyramids like a nervous system. Some call it coincidence, others a circuit board. The so-called Sarian shaft, rarely spoken of, descends deep beneath the surface, sealed in darkness. No one knows its true purpose, but ancient texts whisper of a chamber of transformation, where the soul would be weighed and reprogrammed. Once the pyramids gleamed white, polished limestone reflecting the sun, while the capstone, now missing, shone with solid gold. Was this a beacon? A transmitter? Ancient energy workers believed gold channeled divine power, and limestone stored it. Together, the golden stone could have created a field, resonating through the tunnels, charging the body, awakening the spirit. These shafts and passages weren't random. They aligned with stars, matched frequencies of the earth. A cosmic device, engineered not by slaves, but by those who understood the soul's blueprint. What if this wasn't just architecture? What if it was the original resurrection chamber? The first machine ever built to cheat death.
I've reached 4 major conclusions. 1, the evidence is overwhelming that Earth is being visited by intelligently controlled extraterrestrial spacecraft. In other words, some, underline 10 times, some UFOs are alien spacecraft. Most are not. Don't care about them. 2, there is no doubt that a small number of people within governments, both in the United States and overseas, have been actively covering up the truth about these visits. There really is a cosmic Watergate. 3, there are no good arguments against these conclusions, only people who haven't studied the relevant evidence. And 4, flying saucer visitations and the cosmic Watergate represent the biggest story of the millennium. And I should say that I prefer the term flying saucer because all flying saucers are UFOs. Very few UFOs are flying saucers. All great-grandfathers are men, not all men are great-grandfathers. I'm interested in the flying saucers, not the UFOs.
I think they might be heading in the wrong direction, teaching all these robots taekwondo and things like that, you know what I mean?
If I told you some celebrities don't age, they reset, like they figured out how to hit a hard rewind on their biological clock. You'll see them 1 year looking their age like everyone else, wrinkles, thinning, tired eyes, and then they vanish for a little while. No new roles, no interviews, nothing. But when they return, they look like the younger version of themselves just walked out of a time machine. You think it's skincare? Maybe a little filler. Come on, the elites. Their skincare routine involves more than just serums and moisturizer. Let's talk theory number 1. There's been a long-running whisper about a certain rejuvenation practice, something involving youthful inner liquids. Not supplements, not stem cells.
What if one day a monster threw you in a cell and tossed the key? Scary thought, huh? In a world where the lines between fantasy and reality blur, our hero finds himself trapped. Not by any ordinary jailer, but by a fearsome beast. With every clang of the iron bars, hope seems to slip further away. The monster with a sinister grin hurls the key into the abyss. But not all is lost. With every heartbeat, our hero's determination grows stronger. He knows that to escape, he must confront his darkest fears. Will he find a way to reclaim his freedom? Or will the monster's grip prove too strong? Stay tuned, animation fans. The battle between man and monster is about to begin.
Yo, he's mad.
It's not mad.
What the f***? Man, he's just trying to grab me off the car.
Have y'all seen the video of the lady who found that there's a secret house under her house in her basement? And that's not even the catch. The catch is, since she's moved in, she's been smelling like something rotten in her house. And she's been cleaning, fabulosoing, putting stuff down the drain, everything trying to get the smell out. Nothing was working. So then she got some plumbers in, and the plumbers found like a secret entrance behind 2 walls, like the wall was set up so you couldn't go through it. And they found out there's a whole house in her basement under her house. And what's even crazy, they found human remains in that secret house. Windows boarded up, everything. And the landlord, when she spoke to the landlord said, "Oh, I have no idea." What do you mean you have no idea that was there? But now it's being investigated as a crime scene because when she went in there, what she saw, she was like, nah, this doesn't look like it was natural. Like, she's saying she's seen claw marks and all of that on the carpet and stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm moving out.
Artificial intelligence has integrated into our daily lives, from virtual assistants that respond to our queries. We may be surrendering our future. The convenience is undeniable, but at what potential cost? And if we ignore the signs now, we may soon find ourselves living in a world we can't escape from. Elon Musk, during an interview, said, "You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water. He's sure he can control the demon?" This isn't some theory about the future. It's a warning about the present. If even the smartest minds admit they can't control what's coming, what chance do we have? This moment might be the final warning before the shift becomes unstoppable. This isn't speculation anymore. It's already taking shape all around us. Because once that line is crossed, there may be no going back. What invisible threshold are we about to cross? And will we know it when we do? Unchecked creation can become a curse far faster than a cure. What curse have we unknowingly unleashed? And how soon will we see its consequences? And the clock is ticking faster than anyone expected. Because every second we delay asking the right questions brings us closer to a point of no return. He suggests that by developing AI without proper oversight, we risk unleashing forces beyond our control. Could this be the first time in history where humanity builds its own destroyer with full knowledge of the risk? Because if ancient prophecy and modern technology are finally colliding, we're closer to the edge than we realize. Are you ready to see how ancient prophecy and modern tech merge into one terrifying timeline? What if a 2,500-year-old vision holds the missing piece to understanding today's digital explosion? Could this be the final puzzle piece that turns mystery into reality? Because the moment you see this connection, you'll realize this isn't science fiction. It's scripture unfolding in real time. The stakes here aren't just historical. They're eternal. And what happens when the consequence shows up on your doorstep? Imagine being Daniel, a prophet in ancient Babylon. You've received visions so profound that their meanings stretch far beyond your time. In Daniel 12:4, an angel delivers a message. But you, Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Why would God seal away a prophecy? And what happens now that we're unsealing it? This directive is twofold. First, to seal the words until the end times. Second, a prophecy that many will seek understanding, and knowledge will abound. We live in an era where information is at our fingertips. Are we witnessing progress, or walking straight into the system Revelation warned us about? The signs aren't subtle anymore. They're global, visible, and unfolding in real time. But why are so few people willing to see them for what they are? Could there be a reason this generation, right now, is the one meant to witness the end? Have we already entered the final chapter? And is technology the sign we missed? Could this surge in knowledge and global connectivity be what the angel foretold? Is this flood of information the very storm that Revelation said would come? The moment the lines blur between what's virtual and what's divine, everything changes. Will we still recognize truth when it no longer looks like truth? This figure speaks with authority, its voice echoing through the streets. People around you stop, mesmerized, some even bowing in reverence. It commands attention, demands allegiance. What happens when the world bows to something that was never alive? Because what's coming next might already be testing the boundary between prophecy and reality. Could the Bible have foreseen such a phenomenon? Or did it predict it in terrifying detail? In the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verses 14 and 15, we read, "Because of the signs it was given power to perform on behalf of the first beast, it deceived the inhabitants of the earth. It ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed. It deceived the inhabitants of the earth. Deception is a powerful tool. In today's world, with the rise of deepfake technology and artificial intelligence, distinguishing between what's real and what's fabricated becomes increasingly challenging. Could this be the kind of deception the Bible warns us about? It ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast. Yet what once was made of gold and stone is now made of data and code. The convergence of technology and idolatry isn't far-fetched. Since the second beast was given power to give breath to the image. And this is where things start to feel eerily familiar, because we're doing exactly what the Bible said we would.
How old were you when you realized that the sunshades for cars were supposed to go outside the car? This entire time, you are going to share this video with everybody. Prepare to be blown away. And we're going to get so many people mad in the comments. 1. The sunshade. There is a gap between the sunshade itself and the window. When you put it inside the car, scientists discovered that little gap is enough to trap so much heat that it'll actually heat up your car worse, especially if it's 95 degrees or more. So scientists said, hey, just put it on the outside. That is how they're meant to be used. I said, I don't want to get it stolen. But then I looked at some of the sunshades I have. I noticed that little band that it comes with, the little clip part to keep it all together, it's long enough so that it can actually wrap around the front windshield of any car. I tried it on a Kia, I tried it on like a Ford F-150 and a Subaru, and they work. And I'm like, is that why it says one size fits all? I thought that was meaning like the window size, but apparently no, you can actually put it on the outside, clip it inside so people don't jack it, and you're good to go. And apparently that actually helps reduce so much more heat away from your vehicle. But if you put it inside and there's enough of a gap between the sunshade and the window, you're causing essentially a greenhouse. But now you know.
If I talk to the image of the
Why, if you go, you're monitored 24/7. Why 98% of the islands are off limits to the public.
Hey there, horror fans. Have you ever wondered what it looks like when someone gets possessed by the devil? Today, I'm about to take you on a spine-chilling journey into the heart of darkness. Buckle up, because this is not for the faint of heart. It all started on a cold, stormy night. John, an ordinary guy, began experiencing strange occurrences in his home. Doors would slam shut on their own, whispers echoed through empty rooms, and shadows seemed to move when no one was looking. Being a skeptic, brushed it off as his imagination. One night, everything changed. John was alone in his living room, the only light coming from the flickering TV. He felt an intense cold breeze wash over him, making the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. Suddenly the TV screen went black, and a deep guttural voice echoed through the room. "You are mine," it said. John's body convulsed violently. His eyes rolled back and his face contorted in agony. It was as if an invisible force was taking control of him. He tried to scream, but no sound came out. For a moment, he was suspended in a terrifying silence. Then John's body hit the floor with a thud. When he got up, something was different. His eyes were pitch black, void of any sinister emotion. Grin spread across his face. The devil had John's taken voice over. Was no longer his own. It was deep, almost. He spoke in a language no one could understand, but the malice in its tone was unmistakable. His movements were jerky, unnatural, as he prowled through the house, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Friends and family, unaware of the horror that had befallen John, came one by one. They were met with the terrifying sight of a man possessed. Screams filled the house as they ran for their lives, but the devil was relentless. Eventually, a priest was called to perform an exorcism. The battle between good and evil raged on for hours. John's body thrashed violently as the priest chanted prayers, holy water sizzling on his skin. Finally, with one last blood-curdling scream, the devil was cast out. John collapsed, exhausted and broken. The nightmare was over, but the scars remained. This, my friends, is a story of terror, a tale of possession that will haunt your dreams. Do you believe in the devil now? Until next time, stay safe and keep the lights on.